Good morning, beautiful people. Yes, I am in a different place. I am in a different place. So, my car is currently being worked on in the shop, so I am doing my live from home today. So that's why you have a little bit of a different setup here. And because I'm working from home today, I wanted to actually do a different exercise, which I think would be really, really cool and interesting. And it's specifically around gerrymandering, because gerrymandering is a huge issue and both political parties do it. But I want to be clear about something throughout the entire broadcast. Both parties don't do it equally. Republicans gerrymander twice to three times more than Democrats. It doesn't make it okay when Democrats do it. Does that make sense? So we're going to be talking all today about gerrymandering. We're going to be breaking down how to gerrymander, what that actually looks like, and we're going to be drawing out and doing an actual exercise. Oh God, that green screen is so bad. On why and how this is done. So please make sure to send some likes as you're jumping in here. I don't see anyone in here just yet, which is interesting. I don't know if it's just because the live is kind of slow to start. I appreciate every single one of you. Oh, Johnny D. Okay, hello. Hello. Good morning. You know what's so funny? I am actually super nervous for this live stream. And the reason why I'm nervous for it is because it's just a different setup for me than my normal and usual. So I appreciate every single one of you that jumps in here. It's going to be a little bit different today, so I'm wondering how this is going to go. But I also get really, really frustrated when I don't see many people in here to start the live, so that's going to be something I'm like, okay. Also, it looks like on the back end, YouTube did something different with their setup here, so I'm kind of adjusting to that. But let's start talking about gerrymandering. So I talked about this back on back last week. I don't know if it was a Wednesday or something like that. But gerrymandering is a huge problem. Basically, if you're like, yeah, I've heard that term, like, I don't even know what gerrymandering actually is or what it means. One of the biggest problems within politics is gerrymandering, which is basically when you can draw the map of how our representatives represent certain areas, drawing that map to be favorable for a certain political party. And both parties do it. But I want to be clear, and I'll say this throughout the broadcast repeatedly. Republicans gerrymander twice to three times more than Democrats. It doesn't mean that when Democrats do it, that it is okay. It's just important to point that out. The only reason why I feel like we're talking about gerrymandering now is because Republicans are trying to actively gerrymander Texas even more. So, to break everything down, we're going to start with looking at what are the current maps, what are the proposed maps, but also we're going to look at what does it look like in practice to gerrymander, and then we're actually going to do a live exercise that I've created, and I will actually take a map of 72 equal tiles, or 144 tiles, split out by 72 tiles that are R, 72 tiles that are D, and I will show you how to take a map that is evenly split and gerrymander it. Yes, no, I am going to be teaching how to do this in real time. This is what people on both sides of the aisle do, but Republicans do it a lot more, twice to three times more. Doesn't make it okay when Democrats do it, but we're going to be talking about that. So before we really dive into it, I want to point out that currently Texas is already gerrymandered for Republicans. This is the existing map. And so what you're seeing here is every single district has about an equal number of people in it. And the reason why this is so red is because Texas is more of a red state, but also the reason why maps tend to look a lot more red and Republican favorable is because Republicans reside in rural areas where people are more spread out over land, where Democratic areas, where a lot of Democratic voters live, are very high population dense areas. For instance, like Miami, Chicago, LA, or in Texas, Austin, Houston, Fort Worth. So my whole point here is that I'm going to teach you how to read the political maps, but then also what gerrymandering looks like on the back end. Yes, partisan gerrymandering is legal, as Johnny Doe pointed out. And I could go through the history of court cases about, partisan gerrymandering or racial gerrymandering, and how it's been partially legalized and how all of this works. I'm going to go through like the physical aspects. Where's the Epstein list? That is a good question. It's probably on Trump's desk or Pam Bondi's desk. Unfortunately, we're not going to be talking about that today. I'm taking a break from talking about Epstein and we're focusing on other things. But let's get into it here. So let's look at a couple different givens, all right? I'm going to teach you how to read political maps. And when you're looking at stuff, you're like, okay, I don't know how to look at this. I don't know how to read this. The reason why I do my live streams is not for people who are already politically educated. I mean, that's great. I love that you all are here. This is also to just reach people. I want to give folks who are not political the knowledge that you need in order to be a good participating citizen. I'm not trying to shove an opinion at you or tell you what to believe. I'm just trying to give you the objective information. So, with all of that being said, this live is inclusive of everyone. Just don't be a jerk and don't be an asshole in the chat, okay? We all know what it's like. I appreciate every single one of you. So, let's talk about how to read political maps, all right? So, political maps are made up of districts and precincts. So, a district is like, I live in North Carolina. There are 14 congressional districts in North Carolina. A district is like what your House of Representative member oversees. I live in the Raleigh-Durham area. My representative is Deborah Ross. Each district is made up of a lot of different precincts, which are miniature little places. For instance, you can see the 10 number, that is District 10, and you see that it's made up of all these other little precincts. Now, I want to point out a couple things. And this is very, very important. So, where is it here? Each district is made up of the same number of people. All districts have the same number of people. Let me say that again. All districts have the same number of people. The reason why certain districts look bigger than others is because of population density. So you can see here, District 11 is going to be so much bigger than District 7 because of the population density and how you read these maps. Republicans tend to reside in rural areas, meaning that people are more spatially distributed across land, whereas Democrats tend to reside in larger cities that are population dense. Therefore, a lot of maps tend to have smaller blue districts and bigger red districts. It doesn't mean that there are more blue or red voters necessarily. It can mean that, but it's not exclusive. So, going back to how to read some of these political maps, each district has roughly the same number of people in it, and each precincts are these little places that make up a district. For instance, you see in District 6 over here, you can see these smaller blue, these darker blue precincts, and then you see some of these bigger red precincts. This precinct here has the same number of people in it as that dark blue precinct. Again, it's because of population density. So that's important on how you read these maps. So some precincts or districts look bigger or smaller than others because of population density. Now that we have a little bit of understanding, let's look at what a not gerrymandered map looks like. This is my home state of North Carolina. North Carolina used to be a lot more fair as a map. So you can see here, here's District 1, that was District 2, District 3, District 4 was Durham, District 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then I think 14. I'm not quite sure if I'm counting all of that correctly. Anyway, this was the 2022 not gerrymandered map. Okay? Now, Republicans were able to gerrymander the state of North Carolina to being more favorable for them. What's interesting about North Carolina is we are a true toss-up swing state. And y'all, please make sure to send some likes. I love all of you. I'm willing to bet that you have no problem with blue states redistricting. I love these accusations from people. Why would I have a live stream talking about the dangers of gerrymandering if I don't point out examples on both sides of the aisle? Which I will literally do. Are you that craven to try and dunk on someone? See, what this shows is that you're so desperate. You're so angry at the wrong people. I'm not your enemy, dude. I'm going to literally show you what gerrymandering looks like for both parties. But if you are so upset by facts, let me just objectively point out that Republicans gerrymander 2 to 3 times more than Democrats. That's an objective political fact. There are more states in the United States that are gerrymandered by Republicans. It doesn't make it okay when Democrats do it. The only reason why we're partially even talking about gerrymandering right now is because Texas is currently being gerrymandered by Republicans, if you didn't forget that. So, I appreciate all of you, but if you're going to be angry and lob accusations and be an asshole in the chat, just leave. It's okay. If you want to remain educated or remain uneducated, just leave. Just leave, okay? So, this is what a not gerrymandered map looks like. Then this is what a gerrymandered map looks like. North Carolina is interesting because we have 2 Republican senators, but we have a Democrat governor, a Democrat lieutenant governor, a Democrat secretary of state, and a Democrat attorney general. We are a true toss-up swing state. We vote Republican for president, we tend to. The only time in recent history that North Carolina went blue was for Obama in 2008, if I believe. I mean, Democrats have gotten close on presidential years, but not quite. Josh Stein is our current governor. He is a Democrat, and he won statewide. Same with Elaine Marshall, our current Secretary of State, and Jeff Jackson, our current Attorney General. But then you also had Ted Budd win the Senate race back in 2024, I believe. No, or maybe that was 2. Was he running against Cal Cunningham? No, that was some other lady. Anyway, my point is, this is what the map used to look more fair, and then it became gerrymandered for Republicans. So let's do a deeper dive into some examples of how to gerrymander. One strategy on trying to gerrymander is cramming and packing. Cram and pack, cram and pack. So there are pockets of North Carolina, like the Charlotte area, or the Raleigh-Durham area, or Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem area, that tend to have a lot more population density, and thereby often is more Democratic. What a lot of people who are trying to gerrymander for Republicans do, well, is they will try to cram and pack as many Democrats into one district. Now, this can go the other way as well. Illinois is currently a state that is gerrymandered for Democrats. Yes, newsflash, I'm a Democrat talking about that. It's not great. Doesn't matter who does it, gerrymandering is not okay. But if you're one of these Republican trolls that is constantly screaming about the couple states that are gerrymandered for Democrats while ignoring all the other states that are gerrymandered for Republicans, one question for you. What is it like to be a paid propagandist instead of actually standing upon principle? Because gerrymandering is not okay no matter who does it. But I want to be clear that Republicans gerrymander 2 to 3 times more than Democrats. Doesn't make it okay when they do it. Just saying. But back to what I was mentioning. Illinois is a state that is currently gerrymandered for Democrats. There is a certain strip in Illinois where they take small towns like St. Louis, the side of Illinois, the side of St. Louis that is in Illinois, along with other townships like Decatur and Urbana, and I think Springfield, and they all lumped it into one district. They just crammed and packed it all into one district. And they distributed every single other Republican across. So I'll show you that too. But a strategy to gerrymander is cramming and packing. You take all of your opposition and try putting them into one district, knowing that you're never going to win that district. You're never going to win it. But you'd say, okay, well, I'm going to make it as dense for you all, knowing we're never going to win it. But what we can do is free up all these other areas around it. So for instance, in North Carolina, this is what Republicans did around Charlotte. This is the current existing map here. As you can see, again, just as a refresher, the 12 represents the district. Each district has roughly the same number of people in it. So District 12 has the same amount of people as District 10, as District 6. But the reason why District 12 is smaller is because this is a population-dense area. I'm going to just pause here really quickly. If you're enjoying the live stream, please make sure to like the stream. It really does help out the live stream. I really work hard to do all of this. I spent a couple hours preparing this morning, so it means a lot that you all are here. If you're new here, say hello and where you're tuning in from. I like to get to know all the people in here, and only good vibes, okay? Education and good vibes. Cool? So every single district has roughly the same number of people in it. So District 12 has roughly the same number of people as District 10, and District 10 is cut off here. Why? Well, that's how everything is drawn politically, but the reason why District 12 is smaller is because this is the Charlotte area and they have a lot more population density. And population-dense areas tend to have more Democratic or liberal people residing within them. Comparatively, rural areas tend to have more Republicans that are spread out over land, making maps look more red or Republican-leaning. Does that make sense? Cool. So, what's also notable is each district is made up of precincts. These precincts all have roughly the same number of people in it. So you can see with this district over here that's all red, this big red precinct has the same number as one of these tiny little blue precincts. So it's a way of reading the maps that's really important. Now, this is what it looks like. All of these districts are very red. They're very Republican heavy. Whereas they crammed as many Democrats into one district, knowing they can never win it, but they can swallow up all of these other kind of leaning areas into these majority red districts as a way to maximize their representation. So that is one aspect of gerrymandering. A second one, there's two main strategies. There's cramming and packing, then there's dividing and conquering. This is what Republicans did in my home state of North Carolina, particularly in the Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point area. So if you look at the Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point area, this is what it looks like. You can see that you have District 5 come in and take some of it, District 9 come in, take some of it, District 6 come in, take some of it, and I don't remember what this district is. But there are 4 districts that basically take little chunks of these areas. But I want to show you that when you look at these areas, it is very, very, very population dense, but also very blue. Again, just as a reminder, each district has roughly the same number of people, and each precinct has roughly the same number of people. There's this big red precinct right here, has the same number of people as one of those small little blue precincts around Greensboro. So instead of doing the cramming and packing, which they could have done, they decided to go a step further and, okay, let's have District 9 swallow up parts of the Greensboro suburbs around here, and then jut out into the country as a way to take those people and suppress their voice in order to maximize ours. District 5, for instance, has all of this rural part of North Carolina up here that tends to be much more red and just juts down into the downtown area of Greensboro. And what they do is, okay, all of these people will be drowned out, their voices will be drowned out by the majority of all these other red people. Same with the District 6 coming in here and taking some little chunks of the blue parts of Greensboro and Winston-Salem. Same with this district coming from the mountains, which tend to be much more red. You can see how you could do the cramming and packing, but there's also the dividing and conquering. So what this looks like in practice is you take up little chunks like that and you incorporate it all into these areas here. So, this is what it looks like up close, and that's what it ends up being. Now, if you're just coming in here for the first time and you're mouthing off in the chat, literally, if you have nothing nice to say, scroll on. Cool? Got it. So again, here's just some examples of how to look at it. Now, let me give you an example of Democrats gerrymandering and what it looks like in a state. So for all of these loudmouth, constantly like mouth-breathing trolls that are in here, okay, gerrymandering is bad no matter what political party does it. Let me be very clear about that. And you know what's really interesting? There are a lot of Democratic voters who are not okay with the gerrymandering that happens. Doesn't matter what political party it is. Doesn't matter what political party it is. A lot of Democrats are advocating for nonpartisan independent commissions to draw the maps. But, hence I digress. Illinois is currently a state that is gerrymandered by Democrats and for Democrats. Again, let me be very clear about something. Gerrymandering is done by both parties. But Republicans gerrymander twice to 3 times more than Democrats. Does not make it okay when Democrats do it. And the only reason that we are talking about gerrymandering right now is because Texas is currently being even more gerrymandered by Republicans. If you are someone that is mouthing off in the chat and you cannot deal with that objective fact, then I'm sorry, you live in a state of delusion and you need to open your eyes, have some moral principles, and stop listening to the Fox propaganda. Okay? Stand on your own morals. Have convictions. Okay? So, Illinois is currently a state that is gerrymandered by Democrats, and this is what it looks like. Now, Illinois is also a very blue state, but they also gerrymandered it even more. What do I mean by that? Well, look at District 15. District 15 encompasses a lot of southern Illinois, and it also wraps all the way around at this skinny little part and goes down here. Because District 13 is along a route that has townships in it. Those townships tend to have more blue Democrat-leaning voters. This is the side of St. Louis that is in Illinois. You can see down here that that part is going to be a lot more urban, suburban, and then there's a highway that starts going up towards Chicago, over here. So you can see along this area there are smaller townships. What they ended up doing, instead of dividing this into like a chunk here and a chunk there, is they decided we're just going to gerrymander that. Cool? So when we look at it closely, this is what it ends up looking like. Now, that's generally because they gerrymandered taking these very, very much more dense suburbs of St. Louis and along a certain route here, swallowed up the more population-dense areas of Springfield, Decatur, and Urbana. Cool? So you can see that these blue parts are much more highly populated. They have more population-dense areas. Population-dense areas tend to have Democratic-leaning or liberal-leaning voters, whereas the red areas tend to have more Republican-leaning or conservative-leaning voters. And again, some basic rules on how to read political maps is that you have, and you can see these precincts have roughly the same number of people in them. So that big red precinct is going to have the same number of people as one of these tiny, tiny microscopic blue precincts. So this is what it looks like when Democrats gerrymander. Here's another example. Another example is District 17, where it takes part of the Illinois side of Davenport, Iowa, or the Illinois side of Davenport, which also is in Iowa, sorry, and takes up other parts of, I think that's Bloomington. I think that's also Peoria, if I'm not mistaken, and Rockland. And what it ends up looking like is a district that tends to lean Democratic, or Rockwell. So what gerrymandering looks like is basically skewed representation for a state. And again, if you're one of these people that has jumped in here and like, oh yeah, look at this guy, he's talking about how Democrats gerrymander so much. Pause yourself. Because let me just objectively lay it out there. Republicans gerrymander 2 to 3 times more than Democrats. Just a basic fact. If you look at all the different states in the United States, you will see how much Republicans gerrymander. If you are someone that is whining about Democrats gerrymandering, I sure as hope that you have principles, morals, and convictions, and also condemn the gerrymandering that is done on the other side. Because otherwise, you're literally just a hollow propagandist, which many conservatives know that that's what they do. Every single time there is a huge dispute about Republicans gerrymandering yet another state, they're constantly screaming about the couple states that are gerrymandered for Democrats. Those are 2 separate problems, mainly because both are bad, but also if you're one of these people that is religious, think of it like this. Don't point out the speck in my eye if you have a plank in yours. Both parties gerrymander, but Republicans gerrymander 2 to 3 times more than Democrats. Does not make it okay when Democrats do it. But the only reason why we're talking about this is because Republicans are actively trying to gerrymander Texas even more. Let me give you another example before we even look at Texas. Cool? So this is Wisconsin. Wisconsin used to be a lot more gerrymandered for Republicans, and they were able in court to ungerrymander a good chunk of it. Now, I don't live in Wisconsin, so I'm not quite sure about how everything goes with that. But let me give you some examples of what gerrymandering also looks like in practice. This is the old map that was very gerrymandered. Okay, it's very, very squiggly, very, very crazy looking. All right, it's going to have a lot of different little pockets. For instance, this is the Oshkosh area of Wisconsin. Now, you're looking at this. This is the state House of Representatives in Wisconsin. This is not the federal House of Representatives, but it's the state house. And y'all make sure to send some likes. I love all of you. You can see here how part of gerrymandering is literally going through and trying to favor representation for your political party no matter what. Well, what Republicans did was they tried to swallow up as many Republicans into, or as many Democrats into one district that they know they're never going to win. But what they can do is cram them all, pack them all into one area, knowing they're never going to win it, but free up all this other area around it. So, yes, that even means that this district actually even just circled little parts. You see these little specks? Those are parts of this red district. That's what gerrymandering looks like. So when you even look close at it, you can see here how this district, they gerrymander it so it would swallow that little area, that this one would swallow this little area. I mean, because of technology in politics, you have had experts be able to gerrymander by the house, by the street. And that is just crazy. So you can see here how this is a more population dense area. This is the Sheboygan area. And what it looks like in practice, because half of it is in this district, half of it's in this district, what ends up happening is it looks like this. So you might be looking down here and being like, what's going on with that? Well, when you look closely at some of this, this is what gerrymandering looks like. This is what it looks like. They do this as a way to lump certain people into certain areas. These are parts of that district that is miles north. Miles north. You see those little specks? That are part of this district. This is what gerrymandering looks like. This is what gerrymandering looks like. So, going forward, here's another example. All of these blue population dense areas, and then you have the more Republican leaning areas that tend to be bigger, have bigger precincts because those people are spread out over land, and Republicans tend to be in more rural areas. So what it looks like is they cram and pack as many Democrats into these areas as possible to free up all these other areas. So let's talk about Texas finally. Or actually, before we even talk about Texas, if you're like, well, what can we do to fix some of this? Well, there are many ways that you can fix gerrymandering. One is individual state action. So state Supreme Courts can rule partisan gerrymandering or racial gerrymandering unconstitutional. So currently, the United States Supreme Court has ruled that racial gerrymandering is unconstitutional. It was in a case back in 1993, I believe. I forget the name of the case. I think it was something v. Reno. Basically, they said that you cannot gerrymander based on race. So you can't lump all one people of one ethnicity into one district for the purpose of trying to drown out or marginalize other ethnicities, which tend to be, and you guessed it, always trying to make all these majority white districts as a way to try and water down the representation of other minorities. So what we can do to fix gerrymandering is have individual states rule that certain maps are unconstitutional based on racial gerrymandering or partisan gerrymandering. So I just want to point out that partisan gerrymandering, it's had a history of being by state. I think that there might be a couple states that say that partisan gerrymandering is unconstitutional. I'd have to double check. But largely, partisan gerrymandering is totally legal. And that's what they're trying to do in Texas. In order to fix some of this, we can also have independent commissions. So equal representation of both Democrats and Republicans to draw the map together. Well, most of the time, Republicans don't want that, and sometimes Democrats don't want that. So it doesn't happen. Right now, a lot more Democrats are trying to say, hey, can we just have fair maps? And Republicans are saying no. Now, the U.S. Supreme Court could also step in and make a supreme law of the land about saying that partisan gerrymandering is unconstitutional. Though I doubt that we will see that under a Republican supermajority Supreme Court. There's this weird person that's screaming in all caps trying to get my attention. It's the same with all of you every single day. Like, it's just funny how you're probably calling yourself an alpha male when you're striving to get the attention of a nice little southern gay guy trying to inform you about how to read political maps and calling for ending gerrymandering. It's so funny because I'm not your enemy. I'm your fellow neighbor. Okay? Every single day, I get endless amounts of harassment from no-face commenters. Every single day. And then those are the same people who claim that they are somehow alpha males, that they're standing up for humanity. Give me a fucking break. Just saying. Anyway, I find it kind of funny. So let's talk about Texas finally. So Texas currently is already gerrymandered for Republicans. Good morning, C-Bar. Hello. Hello. So Texas is currently gerrymandered already for Republicans, but the state is looking to gerrymander it even more. So let me show you what that all looks like. So this is the existing map, and this is the proposed map. Now, you might look at this and be like, they're the same map. No, they look very similar. The way that you can tell that these are different maps is you can see the eastern side of the state looks a little bit different. And we will go through here and look at it. Basically, what these Republican maps are doing is trying to cram and pack more Democrats into majority Democratic areas as a way to free up more Republican voters to then make leaning districts more Republican heavy. So this is what it looks like down to the district. And I will zoom in here and show you. This is gerrymandering for Republicans, but they're trying to go through. These are the existing maps. So you can see right now, you have District 32, District 30, and District 33 are all Democratic majority districts. This is what it looks like in regards to representation. And then when you look at it by precinct, you can see here it looks like this. Part of the reason why you have these districts look the way they are is because the Republicans are trying to cram and pack as many Democrats into one district, knowing that they're never going to win it, but they do that as a way to then free up all these other more leaning areas to make them more Republican-heavy areas. So an example is you have District 6 here. District 6 actually is like, okay, what we're going to do is this is a very, very red part of Texas. We're going to go in and we're going to try to swallow up some of this area around here. Now, what's interesting is some of this is a little bit more lighter blue, but they can afford to swallow that up because this is just going to be so red. So it's basically drawing the map in order to favor a certain political party. Austin and San Antonio are already gerrymandered. If you look at this, District 35 stretches from Austin down to San Antonio. You might be like, that's a crazy looking district because it goes from here and it is so skinny along this highway, which has smaller little hamlets, and it then goes to downtown San Antonio. They do this, Republicans will gerrymander this way to cram and pack. Now, as I showed you with Illinois, Democrats can do the same thing. Democrats will do the same thing, where in order to maximize their representation, they might try to lump in a lot of small, much more like rural townships, but adding them together might create a blue majority district. So cramming and packing is one of those strategies. You also have dividing and conquering, which is where you take little sections of something and you have one little section swallowed up by a red district, one little section swallowed up by a red district, and further. Houston is kind of one of those examples with the new map here. So you have, that's Dallas, hold on. So these are what some of the new maps look like. The new maps are even more concentrated for Democrats in the cities, where they cram as many Democrats as they can into those little hamlets, and the Republicans are spread out over land. But what they can do is they can take these more like true swing areas and make them more Republican by lumping in more Democrats into those denser districts. So I'm going to show you what this all looks like in practice during an exercise here. But as you can see, what they do is, okay, they narrowed down 4 districts in Houston to just two. But that's because they put so many of the Democratic voters into these areas. Now, Texas is already a Republican majority state. But going through and drawing the maps in this way only favors their representation more. And also, these new maps heavily are gerrymandered by race. So The changes would create 2 more districts in which white residents make up a majority of eligible voters, or citizens who are old enough to vote, hiking the number of districts from 22 under the current map to 24. It would also add 1 additional district where Hispanic residents are the state's largest demographic group from the majority, form the majority, bringing the total to 8 under the new plan. So what's interesting here is these are all the same voters, but what the proposed district map does is it creates more white districts, and it creates 1 more Hispanic district. And now you're basically drawing it so that it's much more based on race than it is just on representation. You see what I mean? So gerrymandering is a huge problem. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and skip ahead to how it's actually done. So, are you all ready? Are you all ready for me to show you how to do it in real time? I developed a little exercise here. I'm going to turn around the camera, and I'm going to show you how they actually gerrymander it. Are you all ready in the chat? Please make sure to send some likes. Please make sure to send some likes. Are you ready? If you are ready, just type the word ready in the chat. Because let me tell you, you're not going to get this kind of breakdown from other creators on YouTube. Looks like daycare homework. Shut up. Are you all ready? Just type ready in the chat here. Awesome. Now this is going to be really, really cool. Let me point out here, just for the sake of clarity, Republicans and Democrats gerrymander. But Republicans do it 2 to 3 times more than Democrats. I proved it to you throughout the live stream. Now, I'm going to actually do this exercise showing you what it looks like in real time. Just give me a second to move my whole to move my whole system around so that I can show you all my little exercise. Okay. Just give me a second. All right. That is set. Now, gotta turn this around. Okay. All right. Sorry, just give me a second. Okay. Then I gotta do this. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. All right. And then turn off my green screen. How do I turn off my green screen? Turn off my green screen. No, I don't want it on. No, I want to turn it off. Oh my God. Hold on just a second. Why can't I turn off my green screen? Nope, that's not it. There it is. Okay. Give me a hot second here. All right, this is going to be really cool. All right. This is going to be really cool. So, I have a little exercise showing how to actually gerrymander. Now, again, the little definition is up there. Gerrymandering is when the party in power draws the map to benefit themselves instead of an independent commission. Now, what you're looking at here is a map made up of 144 total tiles. In order to draw this map, there are 72 Republican tiles, 72 Democratic tiles. In each district, you're going to have 24 tiles, making up 6 districts, which then equal 144 total tiles. Now, for the sake of example, I'm going to show you how to gerrymander for Democrats. We're going to do the Democrats first because those trolls are obnoxious. So, let's create a map that shows and takes this existing map that is split evenly between between Republicans and Democrats, and let's create, this is our objective, create 4 Democratic districts, 2 Republican districts. Again, the map is evenly split, but I can show you and draw it in a certain way where it favors one party. Cool? Let's actually go ahead and do that. I have my little key over here. I'm gonna do it in real time. So, first step, if I'm gerrymandering for Democrats, what I want to do is I want to try and pack as many Republicans into a certain area as possible. So, let me go ahead and do that. And I am going to sit down here, okay? I am going to sit down. What's my battery life at? Okay, we're good. We're good. Now, don't be a jerk in the chat here. But let's just get on with it, shall we? Shall we? So there are a lot of these R's that are kind of like split, or there are a whole bunch of R's here. So I'm like, okay, I want to try and cram as many R's into one district. Because if I'm a Democrat and I'm drawing the map, I want to be able to lump as many Republicans into these districts, knowing that I'm never going to win them. But what it does is it frees up a whole bunch of other D's that can create districts that go from a leaning district to then a solid blue district. So, hold on just a second. I'm going to make these borders a little bit more bold. I'm gay, I can't draw straight lines. I'm so funny. I'm so funny. Y'all, believe it or not, I literally have a shoebox full of Sharpies. Because I am that person. I love drawing. Okay. So that's a little bit more bold. Now, let's cram as many Republicans into one district as possible. Y'all, please make sure to send some likes. I love all of you. So let's see. There's a lot of R's over here. Let's try and cram all of these. And remember, there are 144 tiles. We need to create 6 districts. And when you do the math, that's 24 tiles per district. So, and there are an even number of Republican and Democrat tiles in here. So I'm going to draw this. I'm like, okay, I want to cram as many Republicans into one district as possible. That way, as a Democrat, I know I'm never going to win it. But what I can do is I can free up all these other Ds to then create more Democratic-leaning areas. Let's see. And y'all, please make sure to send some likes if you're enjoying the live stream. I work really, really hard to do this. This is an exercise that I created myself, and I don't know if there are other creators on YouTube that actually will share how to physically do this. And gerrymandering is a huge problem. Our technology has gotten so great that you can gerrymander by the house. You can even look at this and be like, yeah, it looks like you're kind of gerrymandering by the house. It's crazy. It fully is crazy. So we need 24 tiles in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. If I counted that right. Let's see, I think I can swallow up this one. I can swallow up that one. I don't want any of those D's. I'm going to cram as many R's into this one district as I can. So I'm going to swallow that one. Okay. Let's see what else. I think that's 24. All right, y'all check my math here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Perfect. All right. So I've created one district that has a lot of, that's very, very Republican leaning. So we're trying to gerrymander for the Democrats, meaning I'm going to cram as many Republicans into one district as possible. So there are 4 Ds, I believe, in this area. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. This is going to be district number 1. This is district number 1. So I'm going to do it like that. Okay. District number 1. Now I am going to color in the rest of this to show you how red this all is. You can see here, all of these tiles are ours. Okay, I'm constantly standing up to look and make sure that my drawing is all in the frame. You see how I drew it though, because if I'm gerrymandering for the Democrats, this is what it looks like. I'm going to cram as many Republicans into a district as possible, knowing I'm never going to win it. But what it does is it frees up some of these Ds around here, to take an area that might be a little bit more of a toss-up and make it more favorable for me. And if you're stumbling upon this being like, why is he gerrymandering for Democrats when Texas is currently being gerrymandered by Republicans? Oh, I'm going to show you how to gerrymander for Republicans here in a minute. And let's be very honest here. Republicans gerrymander 2 to 3 times more than Democrats. Just saying. Doesn't make it okay when Democrats do it. But it's important to note that you have gerrymandering done on both sides. So let's take our Democrat map here. The objective is trying to gerrymander for them. I just created a Republican-leaning district. So this is the Democrat. Oh, my Sharpie might run out. No! All right. We have to create 6 districts. So let's do District 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should I move this closer? Maybe I should move this closer. Hold on. I think I'm going to move this a little bit closer. I'm so sorry. Hold on. I'm moving it closer just so people can see. Okay. Okay. I think we're good. All right. Y'all, seriously, please send some likes. It works. It is really, really helpful. So district number 1 here, how many R's and how many D's do we have? Well, it's easier to count D's. So it's easier to count D's. So district 1 has 1, 2, 3, 4 D's. So 4 Democrat. And because there are 24 tiles in each district, and 24 minus 4, that equals 20R. Now, I will show you what this looks like. What this means is that we have a very Republican-leaning district. So there is a lean measurement scale here, just for the sake of example. What this lean measurement scale looks like is if you have 12 Democrats, 12 Republicans, there is 0 lean. If you have 13 Democrats, 11 Republicans, there's a +2 Democratic lean. Let's say that one of these, let's say that here you have one of these Democrats decided to vote for a Republican. And actually now maybe 2 of these Democrats voted for a Republican. It's possible for a Democrat or for a Republican to win this leaning Democrat area. It's just true. But then I want to point out it looks like this when you go over. So if you have 24 Democrats and 0 Republicans, it's a +24 area. Now, this is just for the sake of a mathematical example. It doesn't exactly work in that way, but extrapolated to a bigger scale with however big number it is, 79,000 in a certain district, you get my gist. So what is known as a swing district is when it is below a +4. So down here you have 12, 12, 12 Republicans, 12 Democrats, that's 0. That means no lean. 13 Republicans, 11 Democrats, that's a +2 lean. You might have one of these Republicans vote Democrat, or 2 to make it 13-11, and thereby a Democrat wins this +2 seat. So SD stands for swing district. Are we all on the same page here? Cool. Going back to this. Going back to this. I love all of you. I hope this is really helpful. In the comments here, are you all enjoying this? Because I was really, really excited for this live stream today. I was really excited. I usually do my live streams in my car. Yeah, feel free to take screenshots as well. Feel free to take screenshots as well of stuff, because this is a really cool exercise showing how it is all done. This is a great explanation, man. Aw, thank you. I worked super, super hard. I genuinely learned a ton already. And yeah, please share it with your friends. So with this is a 4D 20R. What this then equals on our lean measurement scale, so 4Ds and 20 Rs, that's a +16 for, it's a +16 for the Republicans. Now, I'm like, okay, let's try to draw another one of these, super, super heavy, like, Republican districts. So, I see a lot of R's that are kind of like over here. Let me see if I can swallow up some of those. Let's see if I can swallow those up. I don't want those D's in there. Remember, I have to have 24 tiles in each district. And there's 6 districts. I've included 1D so far. Let's see. I want all of those R's. I want all of them. I'm gonna have that jet out so I can get that 1 R. I want all of these R's up here. I think this is going to be about 24. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24. Perfect. All right. So we have 1D, the second D, third D, fourth D. I'm going to say that this is district number 2. District number 2. Number 2. All right. All right. District number 2. So if I am trying to gerrymander for the Democrats, you can see here, I've lumped all of these Republicans into these like Republican majority districts. Why? Well, if I can just really make them so dense, I know that I'm never going to win them. But what I can do is I can free up all this other area to be Democratic. I go from swing to like Democratic leaning. Okay, come on, Crayola. I do not need my marker to run out now. That would be rude. Are you like looking at it with me and being like, oh, you should swallow up that one, or oh, you should swallow up that one? Because I hope I hope that you're looking at it like, oh, yeah, well, that's a good one, or oh no, don't do that there, or something like that. Um, um, so this is going to be district number 2. All right, how many D's do we have in this district? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to bonk that. So it's going to be 4 D's here, and thereby it's going to be 20 R's. 20 R's. And that's going to then also equal plus 16 Republican lean. Hold on. Now, if I'm trying to gerrymander this for Democrats, I'm like, okay, I've crammed and packed all of these into these little areas. Now, I want to divide and conquer the rest of these R's and swallow them up so that I have Democratic majority districts, but then swallow up enough of them for it to be substantial Democrat majority districts. So, someone says, both parties don't racially gerrymander. Sorry, buddy. Sorry about that. Yes, Republicans gerrymander 2 to 3 times more than Democrats. That's objectively true. If you look at a lot of different states, they're gerrymandered for Republicans. But I want to be clear, it's not okay when Democrats gerrymander either. But gerrymandering happens by both parties. But the only reason why this is really even a topic right now is because Republicans are trying to gerrymander Texas. So, just important to point out that gerrymandering is bad, but also Republicans gerrymander more. If you're someone that is upset by that fact, then boo-hoo. Just saying. Now, let's draw the rest of these districts to then divide and conquer all these other R's. So, this looks like it can be kind of already a district. So, let me count out all these different tiles. I think I just draw this here. I'll make that district 3. Let me make that district 3. To the 237 of you that are watching, y'all are awesome. So I'm gonna make that district 3. Okay. So in district 3, it's probably easier to count the R's now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7 R's. And thereby that's going to be, I think, 17 D's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 D's. Which then makes this, on our lean measurement scale, a plus 10 lean for Democrats. So let me, hold on, let me circle the R's real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, I color this. Now, because of technology, they don't do it like this on pen and paper to gerrymander, but they use GIS technology, Geographic Information Systems. And gerrymandering is so sophisticated these days that you can gerrymander not just by street, but by house. And that's exactly what I was showing you earlier with Republicans in Wisconsin. They literally gerrymandered by the house. And that's just so wild. It's just so wild that you can do that. And you're like, well, why would they do that? Well, I mean, to maximize their representation to then get better numbers for, You know, you can take an existing map and skew it to favor you. But also, let's say that you have a representative that actually doesn't even live in the district that they're trying to run for. Well, what they can do is they can try to lump them in by doing that. There are sometimes rules and laws where you have to live in the district that you're running in, which I think is a good rule, because otherwise you're just, that's not how that works. All right. Let's see. Let's try to make this into another district here. All right, there's a lot of D's here. There's a lot of D's, so maybe I could swallow up some of these R's. Maybe I can swallow up some of those R's. Let's see. All right, so how many R's do we have in this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. So you see what I did here was when I crammed and packed all these R's into this district, I maximized this district's representation. That way I can free up a lot of these D's. But then when I saw this red patch, I'm like, oh, I want to swallow this red patch. But I want to make these D's overpower this red area. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then there's 8, 9. But you see all of these D's over here? This is what they do dividing and conquering. So let's say that this is a really heavy Republican area. Well, I can swallow this up, but it doesn't matter because these D's will overcompensate it. The same way that Republicans do that with having a very rural area, then swoop in and swallow up parts of a Democrat city. So let's make this district number 4. Okay. And district number 4, how many Republicans are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 Republicans. Okay. Are we still there, y'all? Awesome. 9 Republicans. So that would then make this 15 Democrats, which then makes this a +6 lean. So it is possible for a Republican to win that, but it might be really tough. Might be really, really tough. So now let's look at the rest. All right, let me color it in, and then we can look at the rest of them. This is how we do it. Also, if you're a new viewer in here and you're like, what in the world is this guy doing? Please please inform your fellow viewer. Be like, hey, he's drawing a map showing how politicians gerrymander. I hope that this can be another issue that people come together on, regardless of your political affiliation. We should all be able to say, yeah, gerrymandering sucks. We shouldn't do it. But that also requires the Republicans to admit that they gerrymander 2 to 3 times more than Democrats, and they won't admit that. And this is something that is so dangerous with MAGA, is that they will do everything they possibly can, not to play by the rules, but to literally rig it in their favor. And that's just how it is. Like, it's so frustrating. You can't argue about principles with those people because they're not about principles, they're about opportunism. And that's what makes MAGA so dangerous, is it's not even about what's fair, it's about what benefits them, and they are not shy in admitting that. So, let's divide this between two other districts here. All right, let's see. What does it look? Where is the middle here? Okay. There's all of that. I think I can just draw it right here. Okay. Let's make this District 5. And this is going to be District 6. Sorry, I'm just bolding the numbers so that I can see. All right. How many R's are in this district here in District 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, I'm one of these people. I have a little bit of OCD, so I have to make sure it's done like perfectly. So there's 8 R's in that district. There are 8 R's in this district. Okay. That means that there are 16 D's, which then makes this a +8 Democratic district. Let's color it all in. And again, I'm doing all of this while there's an equal representation between both Republicans and Democrats on this map. Not all states have an equal representation. So like Texas has, I think, more Republicans in it than Democrats, but they're trying to draw the map to even further make that majority, make it look even more Republican leaning. The same way that Illinois could technically redraw their maps today and make it even more Democrat leaning, which is what they're threatening to do if Republicans go through with gerrymandering the state of Texas. J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, has said that he's threatening redrawing the maps of Illinois to favor Democrats even more if Republicans go through and finish trying to gerrymander Texas. Now, how many R's are in this district here? Let's see. We still doing okay? Y'all, make sure to send some likes in the chat. It keeps the live going. And make sure to do that because more people need to see this. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be the exact same. It's gonna be the exact same. And see, that's why it was really important in the beginning to try and cram as many R's into one district, because it freed up enough of these R's that I split between 3 other districts here that that it made it so that you can take these areas that are kind of more of a toss-up between being a Republican or Democratic majority area, and you can make it based a skewed representation if you draw the map a certain way. If you're learning stuff, please say so in the chat, because that really helps. It really keeps me going, being like, oh, I'm not just doing this, you know, for myself in front of a camera, but like, I hope that seeing it done like this might really help. So if it's really, really helpful, then please make sure to say so in the chat here. Okay, so this is the exact same where there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 Republicans, so thereby there are 16 Democrats. There are 8 Republicans, which then means that this has the exact same makeup. So you see how this created 4 seats for Democrats and 2 seats for Republicans. Even though, as you can see up here, there are 144 tiles, 6 districts, and it's evenly split. But I was able to draw it in a certain way that favors Democrats. Now, let's do one showing how Republicans gerrymander, which Republicans gerrymander twice to 3 times more than Democrats, just saying. But let's talk about that. And let me get out a new sheet. So our objective here is to gerrymander for the Republicans. As you can see here, there are 72 tiles, or 72 R's and 72 D tiles, and that's 144 tiles, 6 districts, evenly split with 24 tiles per district. So, if you do this, the objective is to create 4 Republican districts this time. It's the same exact map, but I'm about to draw it so that it shows how Republicans can gerrymander. So let's start. And let me just start by bolding these edges here. Makes it easier. Oh, my Sharpie's not running out. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I keep it on the screen. And yes, I have my window open. And yes, I live near the airport. So if you hear planes going by, that's what that is. I come from a long line of teachers, even though I'm not a teacher. I am teaching now, so I think my grandfathers would be proud right now. All right. So let's gerrymander for the Democrats. Or, not, sorry, gerrymander for the Republicans. I'm so sorry. So our goal is to create 4 Republican-leaning districts, 2 Democratic-leaning districts. Okay. If I'm gerrymandering for Republicans, what do I want to do? I want to try and cram as many Democrats as I possibly can into areas, knowing I'm never going to win them. But if I can do that, then I can free up enough of these Ds to be evenly split amongst a whole bunch of other areas, a whole bunch of the Republican majority areas. So let's go ahead and try to draw District 1. Where are there a lot of Ds? There's a lot over here. Okay. Let's see, I want those 2. I want that one. Maybe just like swallow that real quick. I don't want any of those R's. I want to swallow as many D's into one district as I possibly can. Knowing if I'm a Republican drawing this map, I'm never going to win it. I don't care about trying to win it. But it frees up enough R's around here that I can put into, make these swing areas more Republican leaning. I want those D's too. All right, I think that's one district that has 24 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 24. Perfect. Oh, Jonathan, I literally just showed how to gerrymander as Democrats. You know, it's so funny. There's always these people that come in here and they're like, what about the Dems? It's like, I literally just showed how that all works. But were you here for that? No. Were you here for that? No. All right, so I'm going to make that District 1. How many R's are in here? I think it's just 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So if I'm a Republican and I'm trying to draw this map here, I am trying to cram as many Democrats into one district. So let's do this. This is the Republican map. Alrighty. Now, since we have 6 districts, we'll go number 1, number 2. And our objective up here, remember, is to create 4 Republican-leaning districts and 2 Democrat districts. So I just created a district that have like a whole bunch of Democrats in it, knowing I'm never going to win it. And that's okay, because I can free up enough of these other R's around it that I can take more swing areas and make it Republican-leaning. So district number 1, it has 3 R's in it. And thereby 21 D's. Which by our, hold on. Which by our lean measurement scale, 3 R's and 21 D's makes that a plus 18 for Democrats. I learned a lot from this. Oh, of course. I'm glad I could help. I know it's going on for a while, but that's because it is a detailed thing. So, now I get to color that in to being blue. Courtesy of Crayola. No, this is not sponsored, please don't. How long have I been live here? Oh, wow. Almost an hour and a half already. And you're like, okay, I've been watching enough. I'm like, I see how gerrymandering works. What needs to happen? Well, what we need is an independent commission. Equal members of both parties to then draw districts. Draw equal and fair districts. They agree on fair maps. But do both parties want to do that? No. In particular, do Republicans want to do that? No. And I know it might make people frustrated, but literally Republicans gerrymander 2 to 3 times more. Just saying. It's an objective fact. If you look at all the different states, you will see that. Now, if I'm a Republican, I want to gerrymander this even more. Let's see. I want to cram more Democrats into a district. There's a lot of Democrats over here. Let me try to do that one. Let's see. I want all of those. free up those R's. I just want to swallow up as many of these. All right, that's 24. So we're going to make this district number 2. All right, how many R's are in this district? I think it's just 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so this is district number 2. There are 3 R's, which means that it's the same exact thing. 21 D's, thereby a plus 18 lead for Democrats. Cramming all those Democrats into 2 districts, as a Republican, you know what that just did? That just freed up all these other R's to create 4 R majority districts. Meaning that if there are 6 districts, I can have a majority over 4 of them. A concrete majority over 4 of them. Because I lumped so many Democrats into 2 of them, knowing I'm never going to win them. But I don't need to win them. Because I need to win the other 4. Because what that did was ensure that for numbers' sake, we want to pass legislation. Well, there's 4 Republicans that want it, 2 Democrats that are against it. Well, then it gets passed. It's purely a numbers game. All right. We doing okay? Let's see. Come on, let's get back up to 200 or so, right? Let's get back up to 200. Let's go. Send some likes if you're really, really appreciating all of this. So I love all of you so much. And I know that my lives can be a little long in this instance, but I hope this is really, really helpful. Ooh, let's not bonk the stand. All right. Now, we need to draw/divide up the rest of these so that we have 4 majority R districts. All right. Let's start with down here. All right. Let's do that. Okay. Now, let's count up the number of Democrats that are in this. So, let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to say that is district number 3. I don't think that you get this kind of breakdown in other places. Come on, Crayola, don't fail me now. Maybe I should use a different red marker. Hold on. Let's see about this one. Yeah, it's a little bit better, yeah. We still on screen here? Okay. And after I show you how to draw it with this Republican bias, I'm going to show you how to draw a fair map. And literally what it looks like just split down the middle. Split down the middle. All right, so that is number 3. How many Democrats do we have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 Democrats. 7 Democrats. And we have then 21 Republicans. So 7 Democrats and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 Democrats and 17 Republicans. Okay. So then on our lean measurement scale, 7 Democrats and 17 Republicans makes it a +10 Republican leaning district. Cool. Let's draw the next one. The next one. Let's try to do this area. I think I can actually make this will be pretty easy. Just do all right. So let's make that district number 4. District number 4. All right. So how many Ds do we have in this district? District number 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So over here, we have 6 Ds. We're going to have 18 Rs. On our lean measurement scale, 6 Ds and 18 Rs. That's +12 Republican. So far we have 2 very, very Democratic majority areas and 2 Republican majority areas. But because I crammed so many Democrats into these ones, I'm going to see if I can make these Republican leaning. And I'm pretty confident that I will be able to do so. But let's color this in first.
think this is probably the quietest I've been on a live stream in a while. We still doing okay? Cool. Now let's split up the rest of this here. Let's split up the rest of this. I believe that's evenly split. So we'll make this district number 5. And this is going to be district number 6. Okay. Now let's count up the D's in each. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in District 5, we have 8 Ds. And thereby, we have 16 Rs. And by our lean measurement scale here, 16 Rs and 8. No, wait, sorry, hold on. Where was I? Yeah, 16 Rs and 8 Ds equals plus 8 Republican. So we'll color that in. In the chat here, do y'all color in the lines or outside the lines? You can answer that metaphorically or legitimately. Is this also an interesting topic here? Because right now, Republicans are trying to gerrymander Texas, as, you know, I was talking about earlier in the live stream. And they're trying to gerrymander it so much, even though it's already gerrymandered for Republicans. And this is a problem that's done by both sides. Like, this is done by both Democrats and Republicans. But I want to be, again, very clear that Republicans gerrymander 2 to 3 times more than Democrats. Does not make it okay when Democrats do it. But just putting that in context. In the literal sense, inside the line. But in the metaphorical, I don't know. I live in a ball of organized chaos. Don't we all? All right, and the last one. The last one that we have here. Let's see, how many D's do we have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's still going to be majority red. So we have 9 Ds, which then means 15 Rs. And 15 Rs plus 9 Ds means that it's plus 6, which is a solid red district. So when we're looking at it here, what we've created with the same map as earlier are 4 solid Republican districts and 2 solid Democrat districts using the exact same map, the same equal distribution of tiles. Let me color that in here. Y'all, please make sure to send some likes. We're going to be done with the live here soon. I'm just going to show how to draw an equal and fair map. Literally right down the middle. And you will be very surprised, or maybe not so surprised, in the results if I were to just do it right down the middle. If everyone can send like 20 likes, just literally tap the screen just for 15 seconds. It really does help. Gonna end the live strong. Gonna end it strong. Cool. All right. So that is how you gerrymander for Republicans. We created 4 Republican districts, 2 very heavy Democrat districts. We tried to cram as many of those Democrats in there. So, and hence, what we created was 4 solid Republican districts. It looks like this. Now, compare this to where we had the Democratic one. This is the exact same map. The exact same map. I just drew it to favor the Democrats. The exact same map. Isn't that interesting? So, now I'm going to show you what it looks like to draw. I'm going to show you what it looks like to draw just a pure, down the middle, independent commission map. Where we have no gerrymandering. An independent commission is where you have representatives by both political parties drawing a fair map. For example, 3 Republican people, 3 Democratic people. And again, we have the same map. Equal distribution, 144 tiles, 6 districts, 72 Rs, 72 Ds. So let's draw a fair map. What does that look like? And y'all, just for the purpose of simplicity, guess what I'm going to do? Right down the middle. Right down the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, no, let's just do it this way. Let's do 4 and then 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 6, right? Yeah. All right. Let me just bold the outlines here. Hold on. All right. So what does this look like? This is done by an independent commission. So we have districts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Let's just do it this way. That's District 1. This is District 2. This is District 3. This is going to be District 4. This is going to be District 5. This is going to be District 6. All right. Let's look at this. All right. District number 1. How many Ds do we have? Am I still on this screen? Hold on. Yeah, okay. We have 1, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 Ds. So that means then 11 Republicans. So that's going to be just a +2 for the Democrats. And by our lean measurement scale here, as you will see, anything that is below a +4 is seen as a swing district, very much like a toss-up. So what this shows is that it's just a slight +2 for the Democrats, which also means that because it's a +2, it's a swing district. Cool. So it's pretty evenly split. But if we are going to make this, okay, I guess we have, technically you have a little bit more Democrats in here. I can circle the R's. And we can color this in blue. But it's not even like a super, it's very, very much a swing district. So this blue district could be very much won by a Republican. Because again, 13 Ds, 11 Rs. Let's say that 2 of these Ds decide to vote for the Republican, then a Republican wins that district. So it's honestly much more of a light blue. Let's go to district number 2. Let's see. How many Ds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, that means that there's going to be 12 Ds and 12 Rs. So you know what that means? 0. No lean. It's a swing district. Okay. What about district number 3? How many Democrats? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Look at that. You have 12 Ds. You have 12 Rs. So that means that it's 0. No lean swing district. Next, district number 4. How are we doing in here? Still kicking? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Look at that. We have 12 Democrats, 12 Republicans. So that means there's 0 bias, no lean swing district. What about number 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow, almost like drawing it down the middle. makes it seem the most fair. And if I have my math correct, because there is a +2 slight of the slightest of slight advantages for Democrats, I'm going to say that this district number 6 is going to have just a tiny bit of an advantage for Republicans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Aha, see? So, let me just circle the D's real quick. So we have 11 D's, 13 R's, which then only makes this a +2. But as you saw with our lean measurement scale here, anything that's below a +4 is seen as a swing district. So this is still a swing district, because some of those Republicans might vote for the Democrat. So even though this is a little bit more red, it can be won. So when you have an independent commission draw it, you create fair-looking maps. A fair map is literally where things are drawn right down the middle. You compare this independent commission to something like this. A Republican-leaning map. You take the exact same map. Instead of splitting it down the middle, you configure and draw it in a way that skews representation. You pack as many Democrats as you can into 2 districts and spread out the rest of the R's, or spread out the rest of the D's amongst R majority districts. So you have 2 Democrat-leaning districts, 4 Republican ones, or vice versa. The Democrats can do it. Take the exact same map and you draw it to benefit them. Cram as many Republicans into those districts and distribute the rest of the R's amongst districts that are still favored by Democrats. So, I know that was a lot. If you're like, okay, well, what's the takeaway? We need independent commissions. Independent commissions where maps are drawn equally and maps basically do not skew the representation for one political party or another. They don't do that. But the reason why we're talking about this is because Republicans gerrymander twice to 3 times more than Democrats. Like the state of Texas. So, I hope that this all was very illuminating. I appreciate every single one of you. Let me get my phone out of here. Let me turn this. Let me turn my green screen back on. And turn this around. There we go. Whoop. Hold on just a sec. So, I hope this was all illuminating. Oh, thank you for saying that. You know, I work super hard to be informative, and I know that not everyone appreciates it. But gerrymandering is a huge problem, and Republicans do it twice to 3 times more than Democrats. Doesn't make it okay when Democrats do it. So, that was my longest live stream that I've ever done, and I am exhausted. I've been live for 2 hours.
So, I'm going to take a break. I love all of you so, so dearly. Not everyone wants to know the truth. Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate every single one of you. This live will be posted, so if you missed something or want to go back and look at it, then definitely go and check that out. But I appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to my amazing moderators in here. Akicha, Cherie, Kate, Ellie, Elisa, Cantisa. I cannot do any of this without you all. Jenny. I mean, I seriously appreciate every single one of you. So anyway, I love all of you so, so much. And just remember that you are beautiful, you are loved, you are valid, you are strong, and you are fierce. Don't let anyone or anything ever, 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 ever dim your shine. I love all of you so, so much. Bye!